Henderson City Council meeting Wednesday, July 17th, 2024 is called to order. First order of business will be the review of the minutes of the June 26th, 2024 meeting. Are there additions or corrections? If not, I will make it a motion to accept those minutes.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion made and carried. Request to appear before the council. Ordinances. Cannabis interim ordinance 242, first reading.
Jason sent in a memo. He is requesting that council pass a moratorium and eventually, next month, issue directive to myself and then to work with planning and zoning, coming up with a permanent cannabis ordinance. This moratorium will last from essentially the time of publishing next month through the end of the year. During that time, I will allow planning commission to put together zoning and other issues like how many licenses they would like to allow, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Just out of curiosity, can the moratorium be short-circuited?
yep.
So,
He's fairly certain there's the state's not doing anything right now. It's even possible that you wouldn't even need to pass this moratorium.
Right.
It's not
Just being the
together,
safe
but it's
side.
mostly so that something can't slip in right now while there is no zoning for it.
right.
So I would probably at this point just suggest setting a hearing for next month, council meeting, that would be August 21st, 7 p.m.
I will make that a motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion made and carried.
So the hearing would be right before our council meeting?
It'll be right.
Is SEH coming?
No, and neither is Eric. He just texted me. He said he can't get his report up right now, so he'll have 2 reports next month. SEH left. I left a quick note here from Doug, essentially just stating that he road base on North 8th is going in this week, so cutting Minnesota Street next. A little bit of water main that's left over will be completed hopefully next week, and then the hockey will be finished beginning of August.
And then the last blacktop of the streets.
Yep. I think we're still looking at sometime around August with most of that.
But even for Minnesota Street,
Yeah.
I suppose it fits the time.
Yeah.
Soon that gets time.
Yeah. I spoke to her about that, and he's
Yeah. Because that's going to be a nasty detour if they have to use it for any length of time.
And then application for king number 7 right after that. It was only about 134,000 this month, but last month was 1.1 or almost 1.2 million. So this is expected given just a short time council meetings. We're looking at about 1.3 million left between now and October-ish.
Okay.
Good. All right, now we got a resolution.
Let's see. I have resolution 2024-19, resolution to declare police officer eligibility for PER. Wayne Nagel, he's a part-time officer, but he has had enough hours so far this year to be in PERA. This resolution is essentially telling the state of Minnesota that yes, that's true, and that he can be in the plan, even though he's a part-time employee and not full-time.
Okay.
And he's got to maintain so many hours, correct?
They changed it recently, so he met a threshold, now he's in for the year.
Okay.
So however many hours he has for the rest of the year, that all goes back into PER.
All right, I'll make that a motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Reallocate contribution from reduced to library fees?
Yeah, so it's not actually too bad. Traverse to Sioux, they give a yearly payment to the city that goes to the library. Essentially, they had a reduction in fees of just under $900 for that reimbursement. So essentially, this resolution allowed them to reduce the payment back to the city by that amount so that we don't have to pay them back with a full payment. So essentially, it's going down to $78,362 for 2025 instead of about $4,000 more than that. So it's a one-to-one. There's no real difference.
Okay. I'll make the motion to approve Resolution 2024-20.
Second.
All right. Any updates for us?
We should vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wow.
When is the levy inspection, Tim?
So, I can go right here. This activity update, I just put that in there because we're halfway through the year. Army Corps is scheduled to be in on the 25th, and that's going to be for a graded levy inspection. We have submitted some preliminary damage assessment stuff. We have not had an actual meeting with FEMA yet. That should be upcoming soon. Coming out of all of this, there's probably going to be some significant equipment purchases. I have those in here a couple pages back. Some of that control panels were included in the equipment certificate. 2 pumps that I'm suggesting to purchase now were not included in that. So they would essentially bring us up to a total of $450,000 on the equipment certificate. I would probably want motion on that to purchase those 2 in addition to the control panels.
I suppose we can include that in like FEMA or flood
Well,
stuff.
What I'm suggesting is at least first submit these to insurance to see if League of Minnesota Cities Insurance Trust is going to cover those 2.
Okay.
That would be the first step anyhow for FEMA to get a look at it. Then we'll bring it back to them, yeah.
Okay.
Well, all of it, essentially.
All of everything.
We're planning the flood damage incurred for all of these pieces.
Okay.
Then it would follow from there.
Oh, never would have turned them on if it wasn't correct.
Or built a levy.
So that's to submit first and then see how it goes.
I'll make that a motion. Go ahead.
Motion made,
Second?
seconded, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, this time.
Just a couple of things, just for everyone here, their 2024 Mayor and Council candidate filings will start on July 30th, 8 a.m. in my office. That's a $2 filing fee, and there's a pretty good amount of paperwork that has to be done, so I will be there. Primary election and general election are coming up, and of note is that the actual canvas date this year falls in between council meetings and the election itself, so there will be need to be a special meeting in November. You don't have to set that now, but that's just so you can look at your schedules going forward. Sales tax question will be on the ballot for Allison's Park. That's coming up. Also on general election, if that passes, we'll start looking at bonding stuff in November, December. And I'm going to suggest a security camera at least for a little while at Allison's Park because there's been increased evidence of misuse and vandalism. I'd like to purchase one just like I did for the compost. And just to see what's actually going on out there instead of having somebody parked out there for 24 hours.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then the equipment certificate will be funded tomorrow. That should come to the bank tomorrow for slightly over $450,000. Grants updates on the bottom. We did get a second grant, the 2024 Global Trail Connections Grant. I'm checking now with SEH and DNR our eligibility for that because there is some overlap between those 2 grants and it may or may not be allowed to use them both at the same time. So I'm still waiting for that to come back.
Okay.
The outdoor recreation grant for the splash pad is not selected for this year. They received 16.5 million requests for 4.6 million in funding, so a lot out there. Continue to suggest to submit that again. The water treatment plant stuff is now both in House and Senate Appropriations Committees. It looks like they're starting at $750,000 on our $4.8 million ask. So significantly different there, but that's nothing set on that right now. That's how it goes. I think that is about it for now. Let's see if we have any other questions.
No, thank you. All right, Mayor, I've met with a representative from Tina Smith's office concerning the record flood. And I'm going to speak with a representative from Michelle Fishbach's office tomorrow concerning our concerns about a record flood on the Minnesota. And we really need the Army Corps of Engineers to look into, seriously look into the causes and the reasons why we had that record flood. And rather than get way ahead of ourselves, I mean, literally, we need the science. We need them to come up with why. Because we can guess. We can probably pretty close on a variety of things, but it really needs some force behind it for us to get any results out of it, because that one was pretty intense. You guys know. Watching that come up the way it was nerve-wracking.
Yes, it was.
And there's no really good reason why we had that level of flooding, so they need to tell us.
Well, and I think they kind of need to address what we saw so different this year too. I mean,
Exactly.
we saw no current
Right?
on Highway 93, which is, we typically have current against that one. And we saw crazy current down on 19.
Yep. Well, the good news was 19 held up.
Yeah.
And then we had so much more water than we've ever seen before at the north end of town.
Yeah.
So,
And it took the Rush River a long time to go down. And normally that's very fast.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, the only people that can really tell us is the Army Corps of Engineers.
It's a big tree pile washed away at the end of the brush there out there where it connects to the Minnesota.
I don't know if they made it down there yet.
Could ask Angie's, but I think they'd feel really bad if we asked them any questions about how it's going. So that's what I'm working on.
Okay.
City Council?
The only thing, I just have a comment. Can we please stop spending money on that white police car?
Yes, but supposedly that's going to be reimbursed, and I'm going to make a...
Okay.
Yeah.
And even the other squad, just to go ahead and without any say so or go ahead from the council or anything and do the same thing. I don't know who gave them the authority to go with this in the first place.
Well, I think they were to the point where they were only going to have a white car if they were fixed, because the new one is still waiting, so. But yeah, that will be communicated.
Awesome, thank you.
And the police budget just is in the red. Is there a reason for that?
We are examining that very closely right now. To put that back on track.
We used to have I thought there was a policy that if a department spent X amount of money, they had to get a PO from you, Tim. Or we used to get a PO from Lon.
Okay.
I thought it was anything over $250. You needed to approve it with a PO.
Yeah, I can definitely look into that. I do believe that's in ordinance. I'm not sure the exact language is, I'll have to look at it.
I think
All right.
that might hold the money a little better.
And if you need to submit a bill to the sauerkraut committee for extra policing, you can do that.
Good. You guys did all right?
We're having a final meeting. Well, bills are still coming in, but we think we did okay.
Do you think we could run that through as a FEMA expense? And I only say
Yeah.
that because like the posse really came to patrol the levee.
Technically, we weren't having them until just
Yeah.
when that really started to, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no, you can essentially give them anything, and then they will decide actually what they're going to reimburse it
Okay.
later on down the line. But yeah, it's
But stick it in as an expense.
Yeah. Stick it in.
Let's try it.
And don't say it was just for sauerkraut days, because a lot of people came just to see how high the water went.
Oh my God.
Yes, they did.
So when the Corps comes, assuming you bring up the mowing of the,
That'll all be
Yeah.
discussed. Because we got different messages from the Corps during the high water too.
I didn't think he seemed very,
Well, those guys weren't, they were down here to figure out why we had a record flood. Because when we were at the crest, they were going, oh shit, what's going to happen in St. Paul? That's why those guys really showed up. But they wanted to see it at the crest too, so they understood it.
sure.
So did they have record flooding all the way down?
No,
No.
no.
just us.
Which is,
Yeah.
But it should just,
That's why they really need to take a look at this and come up with the reasons why. Because,
I just fear, how long will that take? Like a study generally takes a year to 2 years.
sorry for engineers, that could very well take a year or 2 years.
So we want to wait
But
for it to happen again before we,
the only people that can, the only people
ones that can deal with it.
that is the only, literally the only.
right,
ones that-
for sure.
Yeah, that did that.
will they come and say, maybe you should raise your levy another couple feet?
They could be all of that.
you
Or,
know, the unfortunate part is they're the ones that have to tell us to do it.
So you're
That
saying
we
the
can't-
water in Henderson through here was moving the fastest, and then it's eventually
Well-
slowed down by the time it got to Belle Plaine again, or whatever?
they would describe it as a blister of water from, say, Blakely to Le Sueur.
So there's gotta be something holding it back,
There must be.
whether it's silt, whatever.
Could be, yeah, combination of all the things we can think of, but until you've got their authority behind it,
Right,
it's
right.
meaningless. And the only people that can fund that is the Senate and the House, so, at the federal level. Is the state doesn't have any wherewithal to do it.
So because they put it in, they manage it, and it is a federal entity, do they, where was I going with that? I don't know, I lost it, sorry guys. Something about them, just, yeah, anyways, it'll come to me.
They could do anything, and in fact, in the protocols for, I mean, the big book we have given to us by the Army Corps of Engineers, it doesn't, the flood protection doesn't stop if the water would get to 744 feet above sea level. It just means you gotta come up with what's the number? Do you even remember? 350,000, 950,000 sandbags?
Yeah.
I mean, literally,
That's a lot of sandbags.
yeah, it just, but it exponentially it goes up. So there is a plan, even though, our concern is really that the levee was built 35 years ago with 4 feet of freeboard
Right,
from the record flood. Well, now the record flood is almost 2 feet higher, so
right. So does that emergency management book need to get revised?
that is the Army Corps of Engineers.
Okay, so ask them about that, please.
So if
When was it done? And it probably needs an update.
Well, but this is the same techniques they used on this flood wall and gate configuration is used all over the place. It was used up in Grand Forks, on the Red River. If you go down across the Mississippi at Newport, the same configuration is down there. It's what they use. It's not outdated at all, and obviously.
No, but if we keep having record floods and our record goes higher and higher,
Exactly. But, yeah.
That's what I was.
we need to be prepared.
So do they have the money to do, like, are we gonna get charged for the study and the
No,
reuse?
no.
They will do that.
That has to come from the feds.
Got it.
They have to fund that study, and that's why I'm talking to Tina Fay's office and Michelle Fishbach's office. Because, yeah, the Army Corps of Engineers does not get funded by the entity they're protecting. It's allocated funds to the US government. So that's what we need, is literally for them to find the funding and the direction for the Army Corps of Engineers.
They come to a point where they're sometime gonna have to just damn dredge the river, like they do with Mississippi.
And that will never happen unless the Army Corps of Engineers says do it.
Right.
Yeah. All right, old business or cash balance? Sorry.
Cash balance. First half property taxes came in this month. Cash balance right now is a little over 1.3 million. We should get another 170,000 from LGA towards the end of this month. Equipment certificate tomorrow will, a little 450. So I think right now we'll be sitting at about 1.3 million this month. That'll be a little more firm as we go through reconciliation for July, in a couple of weeks.
And bills? Bills?
I'll make a motion to approve based on the mayor's recommendation that he's going to pursue some of that stuff.
All right.
Second?
Motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion made and carried. Now, old business. New business. Information items.
Just, I don't know if the Army Corps of Engineers would have any problem with that cedar waterway. I sprayed the trees on 6th Street going east that were growing in there, but you got a heck of a mess on the west side of 6th Street. And if you start looking at the walls, there's cracks.
It's been plastered, but it's probably been
Right.
5 years.
But what's happening is that letting these trees grow and stuff in there, it's pushing that rock.
Yep. We should come up with some method.
And that big cottonwood or whatever is on the other side, I don't think it's doing that wall a favor either.
Who's talking about it?
Is it next to,
Yeah.
oh, that little business place?
Oh, next to closing the gaps.
Yeah. I don't know if it's cottonwood or what it is, I have to look at it. It's a big tree.
Well, why don't we take a look at that whole thing, both the creeks, as a desire for FEMA money too.
And maybe he'll put money up to reback last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce has said in the past that he's gone through and cleared that stuff out and plastered everything, but it has to be done pretty much continuously because every year it just comes right back.
Yeah.
It's labor intensive, expensive, and that'll be a good thing for inclusion.
Yeah. All right. Revised meeting schedule. Is there anything?
Just the hearing for August 21st. So what time will that be? At 6 or?
The August 21st hearing, I would probably just have it start right at 7, right at the start.
Oh,
Yeah, part of the meeting.
gotcha. Okay.
Bring me up to speed. What?
That's for the
Standing for Allison's.
Cannabis.
Oh, yeah.
Cannabis.
Cannabis.
yeah, we just have to have a,
Public hearing.
in order to pass the
Pass the
resolution, we have to have a public hearing for it. And we'll just do it at the beginning of the next meeting,
So it'll get posted.
Okay.
if they want, yeah.
To start a business tomorrow?
There'll be two separate, there'll be a public hearing separate from the council meeting. Start at 7.
Got
I think we should just make it, that's,
There you go.
Do what?
Can I ask something?
Could make a lot of money.
I was told that the lists came out and Sibley County was not on the list, but I'm assuming that city is separate from the count. Our eligibility has nothing to do with what happened in Sibley County because we're like pretty much the only place in Sibley County would have had like.
There's always an initial list that comes out of counties, and then that's followed up with additional counties being added as those counties come up with their dollar amounts.
Okay, I did ask these questions.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it's nice to have an official answer.
And I'm sure they will have, because there wasn't just Henderson as far as High Island Creek and stuff like that happened.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, plenty of township too, so they'll get there.
City of New Auburn. Massive flooding.
All right, so do we need a motion for the revised meeting schedule?
Yes.
So, second, motion made, seconded, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carried. Then, I will adjourn the meeting.